All right,
I'm just talking
so
about gold for them.
Youssef, yeah, I mean Youssef, the short had already executed on Zeno. The short. We were looking at this yesterday, the flag,
Too small
and
for gold? Yeah, Bradley.
we'll take a look. We'll take a look at Youssef.
Oh, that was a good transition right there.
Yeah,
Failed.
you're
Failed
in there.
pattern. Fell
Hell yeah,
out below support. Tested structure.
hell yeah,
You're in. GJ was a loss.
we're in. Yeah, GJ
All right,
was.
so yeah, what are you looking at, Angela? Let's see. See what
Well,
you got. I saw you cabbage put out.
let's start off first, and we're still letting some people get in. We got we let in 50 people for $1 into the signals. So we're gonna start off talking a little bit about what you guys are gonna get with that, and sort of the goal of these live sessions, why we're doing them. Yeah, we're good. Best or nothing, P. We're good. We're safe. We're chilling. How's everybody doing with the coronavirus? Everybody, so respecting your social distance and stuff like that, or what? Or you guys just going out and do whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, because freaking gold US dollar turned around, so started to drop, so everything is like AU is appreciating versus the dollar.
AU, baby.
And same with NU.
I mean, there's a lot of optimism around the dollar this week, stuck in the charts. Yeah, I mean, we're stuck inside too, but you know what? It's not that big a deal.
Could be worse.
It's not that big a deal. If you're really alone right now, though, if you don't have really anybody to talk to, even virtually, we are going to one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to get our Twitch going, and we're going to have Discord on there because people want to have a public chat room to just talk. And so we're gonna have a chat room where like 2 times a week probably we'll we'll let everybody come in and we'll all just talk and hash things out. Obviously there's a lot of random people coming into the chat, and yesterday there was a couple people that got booted. Our intention is not to boot people from the chat, but if you do have an ego and you think you're too good and you're just creating, yeah, the chat's wild. If you're creating problems, like, we're just gonna boot you because it's just a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of everybody's time.
Yep. Well said. Well said.
It's a waste of everybody's time. So yeah, if you guys ever have a problem with somebody in the chat, just hit us up. That's going on until July. Work from home a few months. Grab a TV. Yeah, it's crazy. If you know how to work, right now is the time for you to make some serious progress.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know how to work, you shouldn't use this time to learn how to work. Good evening, Singapore. We hope to visit there one day. So yeah, again, all the people that joined the $1 premium signals and that are in now in the signals, obviously, you should at this point be in this premium signals chat. These are all the instructions that you need about what's going on. From here down, you should have these 4 chats. You should have access to the course, the full course, signals course, everything in here, live sessions, trading plan, obviously the community, join all of our links. But then these are the things that you need to look at. Intro to premium signals, setting up your broker. Probably the most important video in the whole thing is lot size calculator. Calculate your lot size. Don't be risking more than 2 to 5%. And then this is some bonus, premium analysis, monthly analysis, higher time frame analysis, lower time frame entry candles, entry strategy. This is going to be important for you to learn. People ask, like, is it a course or is it signals? Like, there's definitely some lessons to be learned within these live trading sessions and just within the course. And then fundamentals. This one's new. It's just all the key indicators that we look at fundamentally in the market. And then 2 free books, a bonus video just about patterns. That's like a previous webinar that we did. That was a long one that went over every fucking pattern. And then last but not least, the trade review. So every week we'll review our trades. So you should have access, at this point to all of this. If you don't, shoot me a message. Shoot me a message. We'll get you in there. You should have the fundamental analysis. that's being posted. You should have the premium analysis. As you can see, we're posted in there, and then you should have the signals. So yeah, that's pretty much it. How these go is Nick normally starts with DXY, goes over his pairs. We look at what we're looking at for the week. If we are in trades, we maintain them. We let you guys know how we're maintaining them. And we try to just give, little lessons. What's up, Fibu? What's up? What's up? So Nick, if you want to get started, I'll stop sharing.
Hell yeah. I'll get right into it.
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. 35 people, not bad. All right. So we start off with DXY always because, it's the most traded currency. It definitely affects the market, especially now, given all the fundamental news that's been circulating. So to add on to, the Sunday market blitz, we saw that this push was happening, this bullish push on the 4-hour. And we established that this level of resistance was, our main structure, that this was the potential range that price action, the US dollar, was going to range between, right? Because we said it's too strong. The Fed does not want it to be at 103. It actually does more damage once it's up this high in this area. It does more damage than good, as it affects all these other fiat currencies negatively. So right now we did see a little bit of a reversal from this trendline area around the 100 zone, 101 area like we talked about. And we actually see this daily evening start. So it looks like price action is going to come back down. We could see it test, 50%, 61 monthly area again. But again, we're just going to, continue with this 4-hour trend, definitely looking bearish. And then we're just going to monitor and see how it reacts at certain, support levels and so on. So like here's our next 4-hour minor support area. So about 99.75. Right, we're going to see how it reacts here. We can see a little bit of rejection happening. But ultimately, I do think it's going to stay in this range for quite a bit. Unless we do get some crazy, high impact news. Like let's say that unemployment official number comes out a little worse than expected. Let's say it's like 35, 40%. It's going to drop dramatically, right? That's huge negative news. That's going to push price action down. If we do get more positive news, that the economy is doing better, that unemployment's not as low as, that are not as many people are out of work as, was being reported or said to be reported, that may push price action back up towards this structure level. But ultimately, we're just going to look for price action to stay within this range between 101.25 and our monthly 98.5. So that's DXY. It's always good to have this chart marked up just so you can get a better understanding of where the rest of the market could potentially be going.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's DXY. So what I'm looking at as far as trades, I was stalking AUD USD here. I was looking for, a play to the downside. If the dollar had stayed bullish a little longer, I feel we would have seen this break lower, and then we would have got a potential short opportunity on a break of this support tested as resistance again. But instead, we saw this continuation higher on this 4-hour trend, right? This 4-hour bullish trend. We actually saw that this was a bit of just a regular pullback more so than anything else. As you can see here, it finally broke out of this bit of a pullback here, and then it pushed up higher. So right now we're at key resistance, which is also a daily 61.8 fib level. So we're simply looking for one of two things to happen. Let me just go ahead and adjust this fib level. Oh my God, these allergies, man. I'm gonna take a Zyrtec. All right, so I'm just going to adjust this level here.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and I'm going to show you there's one of two situations that could play out. One of two situations that we want to see play out that would give us potential trade opportunities. So again, this is that established range. This is key resistance, key support. So we're either going to see a break higher, right, followed by a retest, which it would be a really good conservative entry for us, and then we would target higher. But ultimately, we want to see a key break of this area. If we don't see that, we're not going to take a trade, right? We're not going to go long unless we see this significantly break, followed by a retest, get in on a higher low, give us some bullish engulfings or something like that, morning star opportunities, double bottoms, anything that would give us more confirmation, then we're going long. We could target a deeper fib level as well as a weekly resistance level. So this is about, almost 200 pips away But the flip side of this, we see strong rejection from here, something like this. We see consolidation at this resistance level, and then price action decides to drop. Right, we see the bearish pressure step in. So we could see something like that. And then we target lower down towards key support as we talked about around 59.50. Another 200 plus pips. So just watch this pair. Pay attention to what DXY is doing. If it continues down, right? If we take a look at DXY again, if it continues pushing down, breaking the structure level, right? Then we're going to see AUD push higher, and then we could see this potential long opportunity take place. And we're ready for either scenario. There's a lot of questions, huh?
Nah, it's just people with audio. This one dude can't hear. It's good now though.
All right. So this is that's AUD USD. This one's looking pretty good. Pretty clean structure at the moment. Just waiting for those confirmations. Let's keep going. AJ is looking kind of similar. Right, we have this big ass flag. I actually thought that it was going to break because it got below structure here, but this was just consolidation below structure, and then it actually popped back up, and it looks like it's breaking out. So this is pretty much the same scenario as AUD USD. We're looking for either a break and retest, target higher, right? Something like this. Something like this. So we're on the 4 hour now. So as this, let's say we get this 4 hour candle, it closes here, then we're going to drop to the 1 hour and start looking for those pullbacks, right? Start looking for those 1 hour confirmations as well as fibs, right? So, as well as moving averages. So you can put them on, like the 200 EMA is right here. So this is a key level. This is a big level that we're at right now, 0%. Are we going to push? Is it going to break, give us a higher low, and then we can start higher towards our weekly? We'll see, over 200 pips. Or is it going to, bounce from this level? And then we can start to target lower back towards our, support around the 50%, around 65.50. Again, just waiting on confirmations. So we could see something like this over here, right? The bearish variation start to step in. We see 3 bearish candles in a row. Target back down to the support. So that's AJ. Here our USD is next. Let's go to the daily for a second and see what's going on. All right, so this one is looking pretty interesting too. There's a ton of volume. We're actually consolidating, you can see. If you look at the 4 hour here. Yeah, we're kind of consolidating. I would like to see the 38.2 hit again. There's a lot of confluence right around this area. So there's structure, there's higher time frame, key resistance, 200 EMAs. This would be a really nice play if we saw this happen. And it actually is looking pretty likely at the moment. Let me just grab this, bring this over. Okay, so the primary trend is super bearish on EU, all the way from the monthly down to the 4 hour. Still very bearish, right? We saw this little transition happen. Key support was broken, tested as resistance. Now we're getting that, retrace. We did break lower time frame structure down in this area. Actually, it's more like this. Yeah, more like this. We broke this key, this lower time frame structure level. Now we're seeing a bit of a bullish push up to this 38.2, and then we're going to figure out, where price action is going based on these confirmations that we get once we've reached this level. So it's very likely that we'll see this 38.2 tested. Maybe we'll get a nice evening star, something like this here, right at the 200 EMA, large bearish volume coming into play. That would be nice to see. Potentially enough for an entry, but we'll see. We will see, and we will be posting these in premium analysis as they play out. So that's EU. I also wanted to go over NCAD. Right, EJ is kind of looking similar. It's pulling back. It's just a higher time frame retracement. So all this crazy volume, right? We talked about this on Sunday. So like this huge push to the downside, it needs a retracement. We're not going to enter on when it's super low. We are looking for shorts because it's primarily bearish. But, we're not going to sell once it gets this low. We need a retracement. We need a conservative entry. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. Price action is pulling back. The most ideal area would be the 61.8, which is right where this monthly is. Key resistance is there. There's a big confluence area right in this pocket where this larger line is. So it's likely that we could see a potential trade opportunity once price action gets up that high. But again, EJ has a crap load of volume going on. This one is definitely more of a, advanced pair at the moment. So maybe steer clear of this. I mean, we'll keep you updated as this plays out, but the volume is just crazy on EJ right now. That's like a secondary pair to trade right now. It's not really the most important. There's so many other better setups that we just covered compared to EJ. So, all right, let's move on to NCAD. So this one's looking pretty good too. NCAD, I'm feeling right now. Super bearish.
He's feeling it.
Right, all the higher time frames bearish. That's the overall trend. And right now, we're kind of sitting at key resistance. We're sitting at structure right now. It's looking like a bit of a double top. This looks like it was 100% retracement after it broke this 4-hour trend. Let's just expand this a little bit. Right, so this is that 4-hour bullish trend right here. This push, then we saw the break lower. Right, we got a lower high. This was the new established structure. Got 100% retracement. So now we're looking for a potential entry in here. Let's go to the 1 hour.
Would you consider this a head and shoulders or no?
What do you mean, inverse head and shoulders?
Yeah.
Yeah, not really.
Like all the way from where you started your blue zone.
This, like left shoulder here, right shoulder? No, because all right, so this would be head and shoulders. I like seeing symmetry in head and shoulders. Otherwise, I won't really consider it. But I want to see, so like this would be the left shoulder.
Yep. And then it coming up now.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's essentially good eye. Kind of forecasting the patterns. That's a good lesson in itself. So see how he's kind of like, projecting that this is going to be the rest of the right shoulder, the rest of the push. So this is actually supports this trade idea, right? So you have the super conservative entry would be to enter on the neckline. So let's just go ahead and mark this off. This is the conservative entry. And wait for the neckline to break. Let me just go ahead and mark it 2.5, right? 2.5, good. Wait for that to break, or you get in early on the right shoulder, which is what I like to do personally. So let's go ahead and drop to the 1 hour and see a potential entry. If we could see a potential entry. And then we're going to target towards our monthly. I'll get a measurement on that in a second. So yeah, good eye, Angela. That was a good point.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna draw a zone so it's easier to see. So I want to see a break of this area right here with some conviction. Yep. Right, I'm gonna mark this in.
Yeah, right. Notice that he's placing that based off of obviously all the way to the left, that high after the gap, and then the high or low that formed. So that's just the main level of structure he's looking to break, and it's in his zone. So we're definitely trying to make moves in there.
Absolutely. So again, so this would be really good. Let's just get a 1 hour line drawn in here. I want to see this. I want to see, boom, a big ass engulfing. Break right through that shit. That's what I want to see. And then then a nice lower high, and then we can start targeting lower. Something like this, guys. Hold up. Boom. Boom. So this would be absolutely perfect. We get in a lower high with a nice bearish engulfing. This would be a clean transition to the downside, right? Breaking this 1 hour structure. And then as we get this entry, I'm going to zoom out, start placing, take profit levels based on this, 4 hour head and shoulders, look to get down to the neckline at the very least. And then even lower towards this monthly. So I just want to see structure forming all the way down to this monthly. From the point of entry, we're looking at about 300 pips. So what does this look like if we were to mark it up for an actual trade? I'm going to go to 1 hour for you guys just so we can get a better look at price action.
And if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. If you have any questions about what Nick's explaining right now, anything, just type it in the chat and we'll go over it.
Yep. So this would be my trade idea personally. And just to keep things simple, I'm going to make it 300 and 100. Can't really beat that. A 3-to-1 risk reward, I'll take that 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 times, guys. No questions asked. Let me just expand this crap. like this, right at our entry level. So if that doesn't look textbook to you guys, I don't really know what else is. This looks so clean. I would love to see this trade play out. This is definitely going to be one of the hot trades this week. So keep a lookout in the premium analysis for this trade to execute. That's NCAD. I know somebody said they're looking at NCAD. How does this? That's played out very nicely. Bradley. Yeah. Oh, it was you that said NCAD, I believe. Bradley. Yeah. So here we go. Right. Not bad at all. Looking really clean. So those are my setups, but I want to cover gold with you guys just to show you the, what had happened with gold, because it's always good to keep in mind what gold's doing. So, all right, on Sunday we wanted to see more of a retracement. Unfortunately, we didn't see that. The MAs kind of just held this pair, kept pushing gold up. I wanted to see this 1596 area touched because it was broken structure on a lower time frame. I really wanted to see it wicked or something right through these MAs, and then a continuation higher, but it just went straight for the continuation. But this one's kind of interesting because it goes against what the norm is here. Because, like, let's say this is a flag, right? Well, I'm going to jump to 1 hour.
What is this, gold?
Yeah, this is gold. So, like, it's a bit of a flag, and then it just took off. But it didn't hit the key fib level. So, yeah, so it is a bit of a flag here, actually. And it found support on the top of this trend line. Interesting. I didn't even notice that before. But anyway, it went straight to where we thought it was. Look, it wicked 1675. If you go back to that Market Blitz video, I literally called this. We both said that it's going to, continue higher. It's very likely that it'll hit this area, and it actually did. And now we have consolidation. So this was a really good trade. Crazy percent, 4+ % on this movement. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's gold. From now, it's looking like this is a huge resistance area. So we could see it pull back. Maybe we'll see, some major support levels hit. I'm going to reanalyze this, and be aware in the Forex channel on Discord. We'll be posting updates throughout the week. So again, those are my pairs, guys. Just a quick recap: covered AU, AJ, EU, and NCAD. NCAD being probably the best prospect for the week, with all this going on, this clean setup potentially. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys.
Hell yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do more of the major pairs, obviously for you guys. I'm just looking over some trades. So I'm gonna share. So we got some trades out right now, and I'm gonna go over how we're gonna maintain them at the moment. So just let me know if you guys see my screen. Also, someone had a question about the number 100. Weren't you just placing like a what's it called? Like you're measuring your risk reward?
Oh, that was the pips. It was 100 pips.
Yeah, 100.
It was a stop loss. I just typed 100 in there.
It was a stop loss.
It was a 3-to-1 risk reward. Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Cool. All right, so let's take a look. These are 2 trades that we have out right now. USEF we signaled, but UCAD we didn't signal. But this is just a trade that I took myself. Now let's take a look at what the deal was. We had this analysis out. We've been going over this. Went over this in the Sunday Market Blitz. Where are we at? Why are we taking these orders? At the moment, though, let's just look as to where we are like right now. We're up around. We're about at a 2-to-1 ratio, so what we want to do, and Nick can talk to a little bit about this, maintaining order, you can do a few different things here, especially if you're in the signal. You can move your stops. I would move your stops into profit at this point. I wouldn't choke it all the way down to this level. You can, obviously this is some resistance, and if we look back, this is definitely a key level down here, but at the same time, you could take half your profit, considering we're at 2-to-1. Leave your stops at break even. Let the rest of the position just ride out risk free. You know what I mean? That's one scenario. 2, move your stops to here. Keep the full position.
Right.
That's a little bit more.
For the sake of management, draw a little like 15-minute structure level in there, just to show them like where their stop loss should be outside of. So like this is a minor zone for this trade. This is where minor structure was established. This is our main resistance level. It's about 1-to-1, or it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So you can move your stop loss, as Angelo said, into profit. Either, you can move it to break even to be, just safe, risk free, or you can move it into profit to start protecting some of, this trade, as well as removing some of. So I personally would probably take 80% of my trade. I would close 80% of my trade, move my stop loss to in profit just outside of that blue line, right? And then I would let the rest run. So, I wouldn't really, that 20% that's running, I wouldn't touch until I saw it either break a key level, like it's going to reverse, or, it hits that stop loss. But either way, you already closed 80% of your trade. It's a risk-free trade. You're not leaving anything on the table, but you're leaving your opportunity. You're leaving open opportunity because there's more potential for the trade to keep running, and that 20% could turn into another 100 pips or so.
Right. Remember, we do a lot of work to get into. I'll go over entry in a second. We do a
Yes.
lot of work and we use a lot of patience to get in to entry. To get in that. Yeah, TP1's like around 20% of the trade. We do a lot of work to get into entry. Once we're in the trade, though, that's when it matters realistically.
Yes. So about how you manage it.
That's when it matters. We want to hold these trades, especially our winners. There's someone in our chat that keeps saying this, and honestly, I commend him for saying this. It doesn't matter, your win ratio really doesn't matter. If you're holding winners for 3-to-1 ratio, 4-to-1 ratio, that shit doesn't matter, your win ratio. You know what I mean? You could lose 4 trades in a row and you have one winning trade that's 3-to-1, 4-to-1, and all those losses are gone, right?
Absolutely.
It also comes
right.
down to, are you risking 5% per loss, and all of a sudden is your account down 25% after those 4 losses or whatever, or are you risking 1%, your account's only down 4%, then you hit one trade that's 2-to-1, you know what I mean, or 3-to-1, all of a sudden you make, that 7% and you're up 2%. So those 3 losses didn't matter. You know what I mean?
You can lose twice as many trades as you win and still be break even.
Yeah. So lessons in risk management. And again, for the people that just got in the dollar course, look at the lot size calculator video. Find out what's your account size. 1,000. Okay. What's 10% of 1,000? That's $100. What is 2% of 1,000? It's $20. Every trade that you take, you should be risking $20. So you should do 20 divided by the points. This one right here, our stop loss, 66 pips. This is 670 points. We'll round it. So you do 20 divided by 670. That's like 0.03. That's your lot size. That's your account. You know what I mean? Nick has a larger account. He still risks 2%, but since his account's large, he's able to risk like what, Nick? Like $1,000, $2,000 per trade.
Yeah. Yep. At least.
That's why when he makes and he posts $4,000, he's within 2%.
Yep. Yep, exactly. And it's all, it's just relative to your account. You just got to see it as a percentage game. Don't look at it in terms of pips. Don't look at it in terms of monetary value. Just look at it in terms of percentage. And that's how you build consistency. That's how you get like a good trading psychology, because a lot of people will panic, especially over the volume lately. I know we've said this a lot, but because the volume's heightened, everyone's like, oh my God, my stop loss is 80, 100 pips. It's like, so what? So your TP is the times 3 as well. We're going for 200-300 pip trades
exactly.
now.
We're still targeting the double, at least.
Yeah,
double.
and what's staying consistent is that the percentage that you're risking is the same. So the only thing that's going to be a variable is your lot size, but that's fine because you're still risking 2%, 1 to 2% to get 2 to 4%. So it's still the same. It's just the volatility is increasing. Once you understand that and get comfortable with that and realize that you're consistently risking 1 to 2% per trade, it really you'll be fine.
Now, if you want the lot size calculator, it's in the signals course, but it's also in the free course.
Right.
It's in the free course. So if you guys don't have the free course, just get that and it'll explain to you more about.
Also, mention that app that is pretty.
Yeah, I also uploaded in the free course. There's this app called Stanu, but you could also use FX Book. You could use FX Book. Lot size. There's a calculator in there. I posted that link in the free course. You could use Baby Pips. It's like the Baby Pips one's a little bit more confusing. I would try to go with the FX Book. It's like a little simpler. But there's also just this app, Stanu, that Nick will use, that you just plug it in your phone real quick.
Super easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. Yeah. So let's, again, entry on this. Why did I enter? all we're starting on the higher time frame, daily time frame. As we've been going over, this pair is in a supply zone right now. We started to get a little bit of a fall off from these highs. We were still above the moving averages, but look at all this indecision that we were getting. We had this bullish candle, a lot of exhaustion. Now, every time we want to continue to bump down time frames until we see structure a little bit more clearly, as we come down to this 4-hour time frame, we climbed all the way up to these highs. We broke through the moving averages. We formed a key level of support by breaking back through. So this is the level, and I'm going to take this off. This is the level that we were looking at. This 4-hour level, similar to how Nick was talking about his levels, 4-hour. We're looking at this 4-hour level. We had broken below. Now we were just retesting that. We're continuing to get, some selling signals off of that level. At first, we had this one, but there was some exhaustion. This one, a lot of indecision. This one failed to engulf. Then, literally yesterday, what I had saw was this was the 4th touch of this zone. To open the week, 3 bearish candles, and then this is why I sold. This right here, this 4-hour engulfing. This 4-hour engulfing, the risk here was definitely, I could have waited till we actually broke below. Again, continue to cycle down time frames. 1 hour now. 1 hour, we formed a high, higher low. Then we started to range and just retest this level so many times. And then basically, what was that 4-hour candle showing us? That 4-hour candle was showing us this. We came down here, all of this exhaustion, rejected. Then we came back up, another rejection to break below. That's when we sold. We sold right here. We sold as we were retesting. I used this as my stop. My stop loss was above this level, had our previous lower high right there, and we high probability trade.
Oh, absolutely. Trade. And if you guys just look at the confluence in here too, it's just like that 4-hour candle, as he said, that's a huge bearish variation. It means large bearish momentum. It broke right through those moving averages, and then it held. It held below those moving averages, and then just pushed it right through that structure level and gave us more bearish variations.
Especially here, like I've learned so many times that there's like always this last push, and UCAD especially, UCAD loves to range.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was signal, Matt. Yes, this was a signal trade.
I believe USEF was actually a signal trade. UCAD though was in our premium analysis. I just
it's here.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. UCAD was the signal, and USEF was like a very similar position.
Yeah, very close.
Hanzino, I wouldn't worry too much about adding entry at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Definitely don't worry about it because you're gonna get burned doing that.
Just focus on just getting one solid entries now, and we'll make more videos about adding to positions because that gets a lot more complicated and.
Well, this is what I would say. This is what I would say about adding position. This is where we're targeting at the moment. Based on the 4-hour, this is a key 4-hour level. These highs, and then this retested it here. This is what we're targeting now. This line.
Right.
This is also, if we want to get into, what like Nick talked about, 139,500. More importantly, like a more even level there.
Yep.
That's price that we're looking to get towards. Now, once we get to this level, that's when we can start to consider potential reentries because this is a key level. We got to see how price reacts. Like up here, I'm not necessarily looking for anything unless I see a very clear continuational pattern, which this is not a pattern.
This is just lower time frame structure, basically.
Yeah, this is just, okay, we're very bearish. We're maintaining below the moving averages. Nothing for me to be looking to enter. That's not in my entry rules.
Nope, it's not significant enough, and it's you're selling in a low. It wouldn't really make much sense. It's a high risk trade.
Yeah, you have nothing to protect yourself here. You know what I mean? So I would wait. Next potential area for reentry is going to be at this line. We're going to get real indication as to what's going on. What's important is we just broke below 1.4 thousand, which is key.
Big level,
huge level, which is definitely really important. But at the same time, though, we remember our strategy is 2-to-1. We're at 2-to-1. If you're feeling uneasy about the trade, you don't know how to maintain it, whatever, just exit. Just exit the order, close your profits, right? Close your profits, take what you have, don't be greedy. You're never going to lose taking profits. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
So that's that's UCAD. You know, just to go over again, you know, we went over the 4 hours, what we were really looking at. 4 hour zone is what we were basing this off of. Our 4 hours support turn resistance level had a lot of confluence here. You know, 618, 38.2, all of these bearish engulfings. Excuse the trucks behind me. All of the bearish engulfings in there, and then our final signals. So yeah, now we're just looking to maintain this at that level. That's where I really do expect things to come to. We could hit support here and really bounce back. But as you can see, you know, we were anticipating this move executed based on just having patience. And
Yep.
when it showed, we didn't get excited. You know what I'm saying? We calculated our lot size. You know what I mean? Calculated our lot size, got into the position, looked at the next trade. What was the
Sure.
next trade? USAP. USAP was the
Very
next trade.
similar. Notice how it's, you know, it's pulling back to a key fib level, and then it's giving us that transition after a little bit of consolidation. Very similar to UCAD as he just, you know, analyzed for us.
Yeah, so let's go over really quickly USEF before we get into other positions potentially for the day. USEF, I was excited about because we caught this position out of the supply zone. Then we were back in the supply zone again. Look at all the confirmations here. Let me pull back. I'll go over that in a second. Look at all the confirmations here. 200-day moving average. The average of price over the last 200 days, we were below that. That's important. Supply zone. Then we had our fibs on here. So we're all the way at 100% level. So we can, at this point, we know that if it breaks above here, this trend is changing. So we can be very confident in trading in this zone if we do see confirmation. So down to the 4 hour, we started to see, obviously, you know, 4 hour started to become bullish, but at the same time, this is what I was looking at. We broke below this level of support, which was on my 4 hour, was a break of structure for me. Now at that point, I was bearish. I put on my fibs. I was waiting for that first pullback. We got some confluence here, but nothing confirmed for us. Got this 4 hour and no 30-minute entry presented itself. I'll go over that in a second. No 30-minute entry presented itself. So we ranged all the way back up. Now we're back at this level again. So this was a major zone. And then basically what I was looking at was this. We had this 4 hour setup. So again, confirmations. We're looking for, we had supply zone, 200-day moving average, 88.6 at this point. And then we got a bearish variation, 1, 2, 3, you know, some exhaustion. But I bumped down to the 1 hour considering the zone we were in, and I marked off. And this is like, you know, just really a channel. This isn't necessarily like a flag, you know, Nick. Like, what would you say? Because this isn't really a flagpole.
No, I wouldn't consider it a flag.
Yeah, this
Definitely
isn't
not.
this
It's
isn't
just
really a
consolidation.
flagpole. All I saw was just a lot of consolidation up at this zone, and then all of a sudden we had a lot of volume. We just kind of broke off in this area, and just based on my confluence on the higher time frame, and also this was like 4 hour closure, 4 hour closure where we just dumped off that zone. That's kind of where I entered. That's why I didn't signal this. This was more of like a discretionary trade. You know, the confirmations didn't align as much with my rules, but at the same time, like from an entry standpoint, but at the same time, I was pretty confident in the order, and I put it in. So that's Youssef at the moment for re-entering. You know, for potential re-entries and stuff like that. Um, you know, at the moment, I'd be waiting. There's nothing. What are we gonna enter on right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to enter on
Your
anything
stop
else?
loss would be 200 pips.
Look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour, we're realistically looking to get to these levels down here. Look at all the indecision. You know, that's where we're looking to fall to at the moment. If we start to bounce back, on the 1 hour, we definitely need to, you know, if we do pull back and retest the moving averages, again, you know, I'll wait. I'll wait for some consolidation. I'll wait for the formation of a pattern. I'll wait for something. I'm not just going to enter because I'm emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trying to, it's like the fear of missing out. Like, you don't want to do that.
Right.
You do not want to do that. So that's the two trades that we're in. You know, right now, that's what we're waiting on. You know, for how these play out. I did actually. Let's take a look at GJ really quickly. I had entered on GJ, did not work out in my favor. But let's look at some potential trades on GJ. Let's bump back up to the 4 hour. You know, earlier this week we did talk about breaking above this zone. We're starting to look pretty bullish on GJ right now. Let's go up to the daily. And GJ has done this before. GJ has done this where it will, like kind of like right here, it will be bullish and it will consolidate and then take off again. Like at the moment, I can see GJ, whether we break above here, GJ is looking fairly bullish at the moment.
Yeah, it could pop up. Absolutely.
And a good indication of this was this 4 hour or this daily engulfing, and then this daily failed, engulfing to the downside right here. This was good indication as to what's going on. What if Boris Johnson dies from corona? I mean, it won't affect it too much, to be honest. If he dies, maybe there'll be some initial scare, but I don't think Boris Johnson's really driving the market that much. There'll be some initial volatility. I mean, it depends who they elect and stuff like that. They just need to make moves. But obviously, that's really sad what's going on with him. Let's go to the 1 hour, on GJ. So 1 hour structure is starting to look bullish. Let's take off this level. Let's take off this level. 1 hour broke above this zone right here. I'm going to mark this up. We broke above this zone right there. Formed a new high. I'm going to make this red. Formed a new high, broke below again, retested 200 days. Now we're making a new high. I'm not looking for any positions personally until we break above this level. This is my weekly level of resistance. This is a major level right here. Look at the 200-day moving average. We're still bearish on this 4 hour. Higher time frames, we're still bearish, guys. We are still bearish on this 4 hour. The average of price for the last 200 days, we're below. So we got to break below that. We got to break, retest, then we'll look for entry right now. So that's GJ. Let's get back to the major pairs, and we'll go over GU, NU, and UJ. So GU is in this flag, and we're making the comeback. We're making the comeback.
Looking good, man.
Yeah, we are making the comeback now. I know I had signaled GU yesterday up in this area, but I exited because I didn't have enough confirmation. And Good thing we did, because this thing fucking plummeted. Yeah. I think we lost like 5 pips on that or something.
Yeah, it shows you why being patient pays. Like exactly this right here.
Exactly.
He didn't think the flag was done. He wanted more of a secure level of support, which we saw a little double bottom on this 4 hour time frame, and then it continued higher. So good play there for sure.
Let's look at this daily. This daily is what scared me. We're still these moving averages. This thing was pointing down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that does not bode well for us. Thing was pointing down, and we had this huge fall off. Now, 7 hours left in this daily candle. Right now is the fight for this to become a morning star.
Yes, good point. Very good point.
GU is in the fight of the ages right now. If this thing confirms a morning star, that's all the confirmation I need to then be comfortable with taking along, like, after we get lower time frame confirmation. Like, look at this 4 hour. 4 hour just broke above this level.
Line that off. Line that area off. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. This is you go ahead.
No, this is the level that's going to decide whether this will be a morning star, as he said, or not. So what would be good in the next 7 hours, we see price action come down, test that level of structure. It was broken structure right now. It's going to test it as support. And then, give us a lower time frame bounce off of that level. And then it would solidify the daily morning star, and then give us more bullish confirmation that this is a confirmed flag. And then we're looking for longs. We'd then be looking for longs.
Yeah. So like Nick said, this is the fight for the morning star. If we fall below and close in the next 7 hours back down here, then we're failing to confirm, and there's a lot of exhaustion. So we have to wait.
Yep.
That means we're still consolidating within this flag, right? And this was a very minor level of key level on the 4 hour that I marked. Now it's becoming a little bit more significant.
Right.
Price
action is starting to dance around that area a little bit. It's making it more of a significant zone, right? We saw those 4 hour double bottoms. We see this 4 hour double top that was then broken as resistance and support. You could even see here on the 1 hour, it actually did test this area. So much confluence. There's a structure level, the 200 EMA, the lower time frame MAs, this minor 4 hour support zone. There's a lot going on here. Yeah. Definitely potential for a larger move to happen. But again, 7 hours, wait for that daily to close, and we'll get a better feel for where this pair's going at that time.
Yeah, now look at the 1 hour, though. The 1 hour is pretty interesting. There's a ton of confluence right now to go long. There's a ton of confluence, but our stops would have to be all the way down here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The stops would have to be very low, but at the same time, 1 hour. We have 1 hour structure. This is a lower high. Clean break, 200-day bullish candle. That's an aggressive entry, but if you're intraday, maybe you just call it 20, 30 pips off of that, 40 pips, which, some people would die for. So maybe you call it something here. So no, yeah. I'll go over GJ really quick again. So what we're waiting for is first high or low after the break. We're waiting. This was the break. We came back, retested, a lot of volume, not exactly the best entry in the world. If we pull back again and find support here, or we actually break above, similar to what we drew yesterday, we actually break above this level and we get the retest that we all hope and desire for. Because at the moment, our most significant high or low or like level of support is down here.
Right.
Right. And if we put a position on and we
it's
come
going to
back,
be a deep fib. Yeah. We want more levels to be established. So again,
we want more levels, we want some more confluence.
Yep.
For sure. We've got the moving averages crossing now. Another thing to note though is on this 4 hour, 3 bullish candles in a row. That's major.
It's a bullish variation. It's called, what is it?
3 white soldiers or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's a pattern. That's a pattern itself, or bullish variation. Very strong one at that.
That's a very strong pattern. So again, GU loves to do this to consolidate, and then it loves to play around in this zone. So we're just going to be patient. This is definitely a trade that I'm looking for this week, or like today or tomorrow. Like this is something that I'm going to be looking for sure. So let's go to NU. NU was interesting. NU's been playing some games. NU loves to do this, like falls off and then dumps, but we actually failed and we had an engulfing candle yesterday, and now we're going very bullish at the moment. But let's start on the weekly. Start on the weekly time frame. We are at this weekly key level and we're consolidating around that level now. We're coming back up, these moving averages. We're very overextended. But look at this bullish engulfing that had formed. This is something that we should have taken note of. This bullish engulfing for sure is something that is major as we cycle down time frames. Obviously the daily, very bearish, had this pullback, found resistance at this level. So daily still bearish, 4 hour now. Based on this break, 4 hour, we were bullish. And we came up here, we were breaking all these minor levels of support. And then we managed to find in this zone again, we managed to find support, pretty much right here. We managed to find some support. Now we're taking off. I'm not too excited about anything with NU right now because of the fact these higher time frames are very bearish. Let me clear some of this up. And let's just look at this daily time frame. Obviously, daily we formed, this key level of resistance, kind of like right here. So as I go down time frames on the 4 hour, when we come back into this level, I'm gonna look to short out of this level. If we break above that level, then I'll look to long. I'm not too thrilled about anything going on with NU at the moment. If you wanted to long into that level, be my guest. If you wanted to take intraday positions into this level, that's nothing to be frowned about. But I'm personally not doing that because we're just at highs. We're at highs. That's not my trading plan to do that. So I'm going to look either one of two things. We're going to break above there, or we're going to come up. We're going to do something similar to what Youssef just showed us. We're going to form some sort of pattern, and then we're going to fall back into this area. So that's NU. We're going to wait to see how it reacts in this zone right now. Let's go over to UJ. Oh, UJ. So this is something I put out yesterday, and I deal with UJ. So Daily time frame, and we're gonna end. We have to end this actually in like less than a couple minutes. We don't trade US 30, so I apologize. We do sometimes analyze it, but maybe you can
Yeah,
go over that, Nick,
sometimes.
if you want. Daily time frame on UJ. Let's start all the way up on the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, definitely bearish, lower low, lower high. Bearish below the 200-day. We failed to engulf here, which was important. We've been noting about this on the weekly. Down to the daily, we formed this higher low. Let me clear this up a little bit for you guys. So we formed this higher low. We want to just continue to cycle down time frames until we can see structure. So 4 hour, you can TP hit, hell yeah. 4 hour, 4 hour we're bullish. 4 hour we broke above. This was our key 4 hour zone, support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support, support. We broke above. Nothing up here indicated anything for us that these were any significant levels. Broke below, found support here. Inevitably on our 4 hour fib, we were to fib from here to here. This was 61.8 area. A lot of confluence there. Had this engulfing through, and then we came up, broke through. So let's bring back on our other fib. So what I did was, as we broke above the 200-day on this time frame, I started to get to my lower time frames. Lower time frame, 1 hour, we broke above this, which was a key level of resistance, and then we formed these new highs. So at the moment, I'm looking for a confluence zone. I know right now we're finding something, but again, at highs above 38.2, I will only look for patterns. And there's no pattern right now. There's really no pattern. I don't know if I would consider this to be a flag, yet. Something like this. Maybe, actually. Maybe a little bit of a flag, actually. So if we were to play this as a flag, I would wait for a break above this level, retest, entry. But I'm more waiting for price to come again, test this 38.2. As we test that 38.2, that's what I'm going to look for longs. Again, if we do come above and break above this flag pattern, then I will wait for a retest, of this trend line, retest of support before going long.
Yep.
So yeah, UJ at the moment, that's what I'm seeing, guys. That's what I'm seeing on UJ.
Pretty good.
Yeah, at the moment. So let's go back to GJ really quickly. GJ, like I had said, is approaching this resistance level on the daily up here on the daily. Obviously looking fairly bullish, but we're just below this 200-day. We're below our weekly resistance level. So we're bearish. 4 hour, we're getting bullish, but at the same time, this level is major. I'm waiting for a 4 hour break above, retest, long. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm being patient. So again, everybody that's in the $1 this month signal thing, it's the promotion's over at this point. Everyone that got in, I think we allowed 50 spots to get in. Congrats everybody that got into that. This is what you're going to get: live sessions. You're going to get everything inside the course, premium or fundamental analysis every day, premium analysis. So everything we just went over will drop into here, and then you'll obviously get our signals. So you're going to get the signals that we put out. And we'll continue to do these live sessions for you guys for free too. I think tomorrow it might be for members. We'll see. But these are major. Lots to learn in these sessions, from what we went over. And obviously this is day to day what me and Nick do. We just look at pairs. Nick wakes up, rolls over, looks at DXY. You know what I mean?
Right. And it checks, the market checks with me if it can continue. So like in the morning.
Yeah, and we're just patient. So this is recorded, everything in here. Again, thank you guys for hopping on. Hopefully y'all are on the team or joining the team soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But look out for the analysis we're going to drop. And, best of luck today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys.
Peace.